What's the difference between first-degree robbery and second-degree robbery in California? We're going to answer those questions a little bit in this video. Hi everyone, Attorney Joe McPeak with Virtuoso Criminal and DUI Lawyers. Today I want to talk about the two different types of robbery charges that someone could be facing in California. That's first-degree robbery and second-degree robbery. Robbery is defined in California law in section 211 or 211 of the Penal Code and goes on in some of the other statutes right after to define different types of robbery and what distinguishes between first-degree robbery and second-degree robbery. Robbery under California law is defined as the unlawful taking of someone else's property, either from their person or their immediate presence, by force or fear. That force or fear can be directed at the actual victim themselves or by a threat to their family members in some situations. Basically, put it simply, if you have a situation where you have an alleged theft combined with some alleged use of force or threat in some way, you should already be concerned about whether your case could be treated as a robbery. The other issue is what type of degree of robbery charge you're facing. California law establishes two degrees of robbery: robbery of the first degree and robbery of the second degree. First degree robbery involves robbery that occurs either during a home invasion, when the robbery is against somebody who's operating an ATM, or when they're close to or in the process or the vicinity of an ATM, or when it's robbery committed against certain type of designated, for lack of a better phrase, transit personnel. That involves people who are operating a bus, a taxi, a boat, a plane, a train. Robbery of those types of personnel can count as robbery of the first degree. All other types of robbery are treated as robbery of the second degree. It's a real catch-all category. So there are some very specific situations that count as robbery of the first degree in California, and everything else is robbery of the second degree. Robbery is still a serious crime. It's still considered a serious and violent felony or a strike felony, but the difference between first and second degree robbery is still significant. And there are different penalties that attach in those scenarios. Robbery of the first degree, when it's committed in the course of a home invasion, comes with a possible state prison sentence of 3, 6, or 9 years. Other types of first degree robbery can be punished by a state prison sentence of 3, 4, or 6 years. So even within first degree robbery, there's different penalties at play. And robbery of the second degree faces a state prison penalty of 2, 3, or 4 years. Those are all very frightening and serious numbers, but you can see how the severity can go down significantly based on the degree. Whenever you're fighting a case, it's always important to talk about the alleged severity, because that will also determine what type of risk you and your attorney are willing to take as you make certain moves, whether to proceed to preliminary hearing, whether to proceed to trial thereafter, whether to pursue certain types of defenses or instead settle, or maybe raise certain defenses in the course of a settlement negotiation. All of these things you have to keep in mind. It's really important when you're with your lawyer to really talk about the elements of first degree and second degree robbery in detail. Ask them, hey, on this allegation, was I properly charged with first degree robbery? Should this actually be treated more second degree robbery? Or is it a theft case with some sort of pushing and shoving and it's only being charged as a theft? You might want to talk to your attorney about whether this could be elevated to a robbery charge and whether it makes sense to settle the case quickly. Alternatively, if you have a robbery case and you see that it seems like a really aggressive type of taking, but the threat of force isn't really there, talk to your attorney about whether you can get the robbery charge dismissed. And remember, consult one of my favorite things you can get totally for free. You don't need to be a lawyer to use it. CalCrim, the California Unified Criminal Jury Instructions. Anyone can look them up. If you're facing any criminal charges, including robbery, just look up what the jury instruction says for those. Look up the jury instructions for first and second degree robbery, and maybe bring them up when you're talking to your lawyer and say, hey, do I have an argument that maybe the elements of, according to this instruction, maybe isn't there, and maybe this charge might be able to go away. Never hurts to ask. That's why you have good representation anyway. If you or a loved one are looking for assistance defending a first-degree robbery charge or a second-degree robbery charge in California, whether it's Santa Clara, Alameda, San Mateo, San Francisco, Contra Costa, San Joaquin, or Stanislaus counties, please feel free to give us a call for a free and confidential consultation. Thanks, and stay safe out there.